So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this maintenance webinar on the CSRD Roadshow, within the CSRD Roadshow, I should say. This time we are talking about the process industry. We have two exciting web presentations. First off, from Chantal from Sdu, which will go into depth about the CSRD, what it all entails, and what's coming our way. And then after her, Maria will take the stage for her presentation from LKAB to discuss which road they're going into a sustainable future. Some household announcements beforehand. If there's any questions, please feel free to use the chat function and ask them in the meantime. And as you can see, the webinar is being recorded and will be described afterwards as well. And the link to the recording and the described version with some highlights of the webinar will follow on mail later this day or tomorrow. And in the name of NVDO, Sdu, and the EFNMS, I want to wish you a very pleasant webinar and an instructive afternoon. So Chantal, please go ahead with your presentation.
Thank you very much, Ian. Welcome everyone. Today I will take you into the world of the basics of the CSRD in approximately, I think, 20 minutes, because what Ian said, I have to leave early today because of another presentation. Busy times. First, let me introduce myself. I'm Chantal de Groot, consultative account manager actually at SDU. SDU, I'm responsible commercially for the ESG portfolio and part of the ESG team of SDU in the Netherlands, The Hague. Short introduction. SDU is a daughter of a family company. So our mother is based in Paris, France, and we're part of the family company Lefebvre-Sarrut. And as you can see here, we are located in around 8 countries. We have some. We are in Europe totally. We have 2,600 employees, and worldwide we have a nice position also. That's everything I wanted to tell you about our company. Today I want to talk about the CSRD, and the CSRD has everything to do with ESG. Companies are the framework of the CSRD, that's what I wanted to say, is based on the ESG framework. So as you can see here, we have 3 topics: environmental, and social, and governance, and that's what we call sustainability. So sustainability is more than just the environmental framework. The bottom line is that environment, social, and governance is derived from maybe formerly known as people, planet, and profit. So maybe people know those terms a little bit better. First of all, ESG is the overarching theme, but where does the CSRD come from? Well, this shows it a little bit. It's the picture shows it, and it at the same time, I think it shows the complexity and the quantity of the European legislation that we have at the moment concerning sustainability. But I can also assure you that there's more to come. So this is not all. This will not be it. And as you can see at the bottom, at the left, bottom, you can see in a small piece of cake that there's the CSRD. So that's just one part of the Green Deal, the European legislation. For the CSRD is one part of the Green Deal, and that's the overarching theme. You can use the CSRD, I think, and that's what I wanted to show you. That's also what I want to show you today, as a guide to incorporate sustainability in your business strategy. So because we believe, if you can see the relations with other and earlier sustainability initiatives, that sustainability in the future will be the new currency. And if you look at it that way, then maybe you can use the CSRD to help you integrate sustainability in your business strategy. The introduction of the CSRD. What does it mean? The CSRD stands for the Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive. And the directive aims to ensure greater transparency about, well, a better quantity of the sustainability information. So as you can see here, you have to do this annually. So you have to make an annual management report, and you have to publicly disclose this every year. And it's about risk, opportunities, and impact on people, environment, but also the governance aspect. So the ESG teams, like I said earlier on. The CSRD is established to increase transparency. So it's part of, like I showed you in the former slides, it's a part of the Green Deal, and we hope to achieve the European Green Deal policy initiatives with the CSRD. Who will be impacted? Well, as you can see here, we have a roadmap. Approximately 50,000 companies within Europe have to report on the CSRD coming up from this year. So we start this year with the large listed companies that are already in the scope and have to report on the NFRD, another legislation. They have to report on this year. They have to report in 2025 over 2024. And next year, a big large group is coming up. So as you can see here, there we have large companies with turnover more than 50 million. Balance sheet assets has to be greater than 25 million, or you have to have more than 250 employees. If you tick 2 out of 3 of these boxes, then you have to report on the CSRD. In 2026, the listed SMEs and the small and non-complex credit institutions and captive insurance companies have to report on the CSRD. But we also know that smaller companies will be, it will be their turn later on, I think somewhere between 2028, somewhere around that, I think. But there is a big but. Even if you don't have to report on the CSRD right away, so 2024, 2025, or 2026, it doesn't mean that you, for example, if you are a supplier and you have one of your customers is a large listed company or a large company that has to report on the CSRD in 2025, then it also can be that you are, that there can be some questions coming up your way. Concerning scope 3 emissions or or concerning stakeholder issues. So companies have to do a lot of steps like stakeholder analysis or double materiality analysis, or they have to gather a lot of data, also scope 3 emissions. And even if you don't have to report right away, it is possible that they can ask you questions about that. So there's still a big chance that even if you don't have to report right away, that you will be CSRD involved. So let's dive a little bit more into the basics. Yes. I showed you the CSRD. The CSRD is the directive, so the legislation. So that tells you that you have to report. The next part of the CSRD are the ESRS, the European Sustainability Reporting Standards. And these standards tell you how you have to report on and what you have to report on within the CSRD. So everything is described here in the ESRS. And as you can see, we have already published standards like the ESRS 1 and the ESRS 2. So you find some general principles and general disclosures where you have to on which you have to report on, and they will tell you in those standards. We tell you there will be exactly told what and how to do, what to report on. Then you have the topical sector agnostic standards, a little bit complex, but here you can find the ESG theme, like I explained earlier on. And I think I can clarify this through an example, because if you start with the CSRD, the reporting of the CSRD, you have to take several steps. So you have to read the ESRS, the European Sustainability Reporting Framework, and you can prepare your information in accordance with that framework. After that, you have to, well, one of the first steps you have to take, that is an important step, is the double materiality. And the double materiality is something that is a little bit complex, but what it says, and I can show you that a little bit further on, you have to measure the impact inside out, so the impact that your company has on society and on environment, and that's you have to report on, but also you have to take a look at the financial impact outside in. So what are the risks and opportunities of the external environment on social events on your company? So that's the double materiality explanation. Let's go a little bit back. So after you, the way you come up with the double materiality is by creating a long list, and you have to involve stakeholders, internal and external stakeholders, so suppliers, your surroundings, maybe governance, institutions. You have to involve everyone that is relevant for your company, or that has an influence on your company, or that you have an influence on. So there are a lot of people involved with that process. So the double materiality, the long list of the topics, you can find that in the ESG theme. So for an example, your company uses a lot of water, then you definitely you are mandatory to report on the ESRS E3, so the water and marine sources. So that's the way you pick your topics. So with your own company, your own internal stakeholders, but also external stakeholders. After that, when you find the correct topics which you want to report on, so let's say the ESRS E1, the ESRS E4, the ESRS S2, and the ESRS G1, then you know on which topics you also have to report. After that, you have to gather a lot of data. And I mean a lot. And then a lot of companies are gathering data concerning their carbon footprint. But as you can see here, the ESRS asks you to report on more than just the carbon footprint. You also have to gather data about your influence on the climate change, pollution maybe, and that depends on your material topics. So if you go back to the example of the water waste, and you have to report on water, so you have to gather data about your water usage and your water waste treatment. And you have to gather the data also about the carbon footprint, but that's just one topic. These as you can see, you can have a lot of steps. You read the ESRS, you have to do a double materiality analysis, then you have to come up with a strategy and a business model. So because you have to come up after year one, after the report of year one, you have to come up with transition plans. So how can you do it better? And what can you do to change or improve your impact on the environment or on the social topics? And then you go after the strategy, you have to also take care of the governance and the organization in relation to the sustainability. So what are the roles and the responsibilities of the governance bodies within your company? You have to give information about sustainability matters in relation to the governance bodies. So you have to take a lot of steps, and this was just one page, but as you can see, you also have to go further along. You have to describe your sustainability impact and risks and opportunity. You have to disclose material ESG matters, and you have to gather a lot of data. And the data part, I think, is the most interesting part for asset and maintenance managers right now. If your assets are if you have your assets working right away and you collect a lot of data, you can use those data correctly to also use that as in the data for your CSRD report. Short. These are the main steps for implementing the CSRD. So first of all, you take a look of the general disclosures, the ESRS1 and the ESRS2. Then you have to make a plan of action. Your stakeholder management has to be analyzed. You have to do a double materiality analysis, like I told you. Then you have to take the step to make a gap analysis. So it may be you all, as a company, you already reported on the GRI standards or on the sustainability development goals. So you already have an integrated reporting with a financial and non-financial part. But then you have to take a look at what's the gap between our old-fashioned way and the new way, the CSRD way. So that's a very important for companies that already report on sustainability. The next step is implementation. And the implementation, that's where the data part already comes along. So you have to do a zero measurement. So you have to take a look at where do we start from? What's our start position? Then you have to take a look at KPI settings. Start with the gathering of the environmental, but also the social and the governance data. And I think that a lot of companies don't, they have a lot of environmental data already, but they also, but for the environmental data, it's very important that you use those data to take a look at the products and the services that you provide in depth. So that means that you have to take software, or you have to hire an LCA analyst, because you have to have some information about digital information passports and LCAs from your product. So that's very important. So it's also within the implementation very important that you set up a recurrent process of data collection, but also to gather all the information that you need. So and after that, you can worry about the actual reporting part and how you can extract the non-financial data and integrate that with the financial parts. This was the long list. I wanted to show you something about the scope 1, 2, and 3 emissions. Just for a short moment, so you can see what data you actually need. So you need scope 1 emissions, and that is direct greenhouse gas emissions from owned or controlled sources. Scope 2 are the indirect emissions from the generation of purchased electricity, heat or steam. And the scope 3 emissions, and that's where the biggest impact will be, the largest impact will be, you have to gather the data around other indirect emissions, such as those from the value chain, that include suppliers, customers, and product lifecycle data. So that's the explanation why I referred to LCA technique, the LCA method. What's my advice? Just prepare and start, because it's a lot. It's a lot and it's complex, but just start step by step, and you will see step by step that you already have a lot, but you just have to find a way to gather it properly. So take a look at your organization. That's the very first step, and assign responsibility for the sustainability policies within the organization, and determine who is responsible for what on all levels. So start with the project team, with board members, a sustainability member, a manager, maybe an asset manager or a maintenance manager. QHSE managers are very important for the environmental data part, also an HR manager. So prepare and start with a project team. After that, knowledge and process is very important. Get to know the CSRD. So join workshops, go to a training, follow a complete full education, I don't know, and just take care of take a very good look at who has to know what. Always ask yourself that question. If you're an ESG manager, then you have the responsibility to lead the project. So then you have to know everything. If you are a HR manager, then it's very important that you know something about the social part of the CSRD reporting. So determine who needs to do and who needs to know what. After that process, you can follow the roadmap and actions according the ESRS 1 and 2. So then you can start with a plan of action, determine your stakeholders, go to the CAP analysis and set your goals, do your zero measurements and gather the data. I also think, and I wanted to show you something about our way of thinking at SDU. We actually believe that sustainability is the new currency. And if you believe that, then you understand that profit and sustainability will go hand in hand in the future. It will take a while, but eventually we will get there. So start integrating sustainability in your business strategy, like I told you at the beginning. The maturity of the sustainability in your company is you can determine that by using, for example, this ladder. So as you can see, there are 5 steps. At the bottom, you are at 0. And so you are in the ignoring phase. And at step 5, you are a purpose, value-driven, sustainable company like Tony Chocolonely, for example. We don't all have to be the Tony Chocolonely of the world, but you can. It's important to determine your strategy within the next couple of years. Where do you want to be with your organization, and what do you need to get there? If you make that choice, you can choose between compliancy and efficiency, and there are no right or good answers. There's just a choice. So you can choose between compliancy and efficiency, or you can choose for sustainable business. And you can see the differences between those two. Which future do you want to be ready for? Short, the last slide for me. This is what SDU does. So we have an education program, and we do have delivers different software tooling, and well, we believe that you need software and expertise because you have to do this year in, year out. So it's not going away. So make sure that you get the knowledge inside your own house. That was all for now. If you want to contact me, my phone number and my email is in here. And well, that's all for now. So I want to thank everyone for joining today.
Thank you, Chantal, for your presentation, and I think a clear explanation of the CSRD, albeit in a short time. And then now we will
It's a
go over.
lot.
It's
It's
a
a lot
lot.
for 15 minutes. Yeah.
Definitely. Then now we'll go over to Maria and her presentation of LKAB and yeah, the way they are changing to a sustainable company. Maria, can you share your screen? Then we'll start with your presentation.
Yes, I will. A moment, please, so I do it correctly. Do you see my screen?
Yes, there it comes.
So, you see.
Yeah.
Oh, then we've just been three persons. Hey, hello, John. Okay, but it's a recording. Thank Chantal. She went. It was a good presentation, Chantal. Thank you for that. I'm going to talk about our journey at LKAB with data-driven maintenance in world class, that including sustainability, how we work with that in LKAB. First, myself, Maria Rytty. I'm the head of strategic maintenance here at LKAB. I have also been the chairman of the board for Center of Intelligence Asset Management at Luleå University of Technology since 2020. I was also the Swedish Maintenance Manager of the Year. I was received the award of that. My main interest is to develop business and people, so I have chosen to become a leader. I started as an engineer at LKAB, and I've been working with maintenance in 17 years, so it's a long journey. Maintenance for me is the humans, the collaborations, and how we make this happen. Also, how do we do this so we can have a more sustainable world at LKAB? I also, when I'm so interested to develop people, I also an instructor in Kiruna, Kyokushin Karate in Kiruna for children, young people, and adults. And they're also a chairman of the board. Because it's so very interesting to develop people, because they're the people, the humans that make it happen. LKAB, we started 1890, and we are Sweden's oldest industry. We have 80% within the EU. Since 1819, we have developed innovations and technology solutions, and we are driven forward by more than 5,200 employees now in 12 countries. So we are quite large and quite important for the sustainability. Where are we then? We are based in the northern part of Sweden, Swedish Orfield. You can see Netherlands are here, and we are up here. So I have to make it bigger where we are. In Kiruna, we have one underground mine. We have 7 processes plants. In Svappavaara, we have 2 processes plant and 1 open pit. In Malmberget, we have 1 underground mine and 3 processes plant. And from Kiruna to Narvik, it departure 10 trains every day, 65,000 tons. It's around 32,500 Volvo cars a day on the northern part. And here you see, this is the port of Narvik behind me. And then from Malmberget to Luleå, it's 4 departure every day. It's 26,000 tons. It's around 13,000 Volvo cars a day. So it's quite a large production that we are doing at LKAB. And the production runs 24/7 every day of the year. So maintenance have high demands. It's high demands on the maintenance part. Our products are pellets, blast furniture, furnace, and direct furnish reduction pellets, and fines. It depends on which our customer wants which one of the products. And they are really now as well climate efficient, high grade products for the global steel industry. So we are with this products are quite good now. But we want to go further. We want to take a step further. So we go from an iron ore pellets to a carbon-free sponge iron. That's important for us, because the demands for steel for fossil-free process, it is rapidly increasing from our customers, and it's here we see that it's here we can make the difference for our customers and for the climate. Our strategy we have, it's enable increase sales and reduce emission. That's our strategy. And we think reduce carbon emission by 40 to 50 million tons per year at a global customers, and correspond to nearly all of Sweden's annual emissions of greenhouse gases that we will increase to 100%. And for 2045, our processes and products are carbon free. So we have put our strategy and the way forward. Our value chain, we have from the suppliers to resource recycling. But what we do at LKAB, it's before suppliers, what we have, but we impact these suppliers as well, from exploration to transport. So here we have, there we are working for this carbon-free product and processes. And we put great emphasis on resource efficiency, as well as on social responsibility, locally, nationally, and globally. So here is what we are going to do. And how do we do that then? Well, we have a transmission. We're working for the transmission towards a sustainable future. 3 important areas: new gold standard for mining. We're going for deeper depths, and here is important, and it demands new mining methods that will be digitalized and autonomous. We are going to carbon-free sponge iron, is change the product to a carbon-free sponge iron. And you may heard about our new finding, per Geijer, give us opportunity to supply Europe within rare earth elements. So that's as well good for us. How does this impact maintenance? Maintenance is the key role, because we are paying ourselves this transformation. And what can we do it better if we do a better maintenance in the right way, in the right time? We have upgraded our maintenance policy based on Industry 4.0 and 5.0. We have built a new tool, ESM, economic significance of maintenance. And we have more money to earn and cost to save in the future, that we can be more efficient. And we need to be more factor-based. Therefore, we want this quality data that we can take fact-based decisions on. Data-driven maintenance in world class, we have 3 areas that we work with: the technology, the process, and human. And we see it's the key for success. So you must work with these 3 areas equally. You must know what process you are working in. Then you can choose right technology. And then you must prepare the humans to work in the right process, in the right technology for the right data quality. And as we know, technology is very exciting, it's high tech, it's interesting, you want there. So many work with the technology. If you see and calculate, here is a formula SOE. So if you work with the technology, 90%. There we are right now, many of us. You work with the process 70%, and you work with the human 70%. You only have a result of 44%. And as we see from LKAB, it's most important to work with the process. What process do we work in? How we work in the right way? And how do we prepare our people out that working? We have sorted down in LKAB the humans. We look at the organization. How do what information do they need? Competence courses, system training courses, workshops. They can test systems. If we want a new tool, they can be with us and test the new things. Networking, of course, very important, and various forms that we can make. Our process, that our main process, is LKAB Maintenance Handbook, that leading on the European standards. So I have put down what standards including in our LKAB Maintenance Handbook. SSC 13306 2017 maintenance is one of the most important, and the asset management, of course. Our technology today is EFS EIM and plant performance. There we measure OEE. And the result is, of course, the same. We have taken it from the European standards, the key performance indicator for maintenance. And we have also sorted down for what data quality KPIs do we need, what operations KPIs do we need, change management, can we see the change KPIs, and of course OEE we look into, and the new tool ESM. I will show a little bit more of that a little bit further. When the transformation to a data-driven maintenance, it's very important for the LKAB because we have more than 700,000 assets. So we must have a control over our machine park, that I would say. And how do we do that? Yes, we must have production and maintenance working together, so we have a life cycle at our asset. When we have worked with the policy, we have worked with the plant managers. They need to be lean on the strategy, policy and strategy, and the long-term goals, so they can say the same. We can do the same thing, but in different plants. This time we had work from bottom up, from section manager up to CEO, not rather top down. From bottom up we did that, and it has been a very successful way of anchoring with the management with the management. Yes. And our strategy then, data-driven maintenance in world-class, maintenance decisions at operational and strategic level. When we have our 700,000 asset, we must sort it in some way. So we classify critical machines and select right maintenance method for them for the life cycle maintenance plan for a safe and stable production. So is it an ordinary pump? We just change it. Is it one of our own? We have our great kiln. It's called. That we have a really critical machine. So we have a different maintenance method in which critical machine it is. Goals for the long term, safety of course, risk zero harm for the people out there, for everyone. High facility security based on current regulations that we fulfill the laws. Good production reliability according to the plan, so we have good production. Availability, of course, and there is where we have our key KPIs on that. And ESM, economic significance of maintenance, I will show you shortly. Measure and optimize full effect on preventive maintenance. It's important for us. Moving from predetermined to predictive maintenance as well. Maintenance planning above 80%. Here we see the real success factor. And of course, competence, supply and development. The humans that will do it. ESM then, we have worked with this. OEA is an engineering and technician tool that we see that we have the KPIs for a technical view from the production plan. And we have seen that the management have a little bit difficult to make the right decision on this process, on that information that we have from OEA. So we have translate OEA to ESM, significance of maintenance. And there we have these three areas, not only direct maintenance cost, personnel, external service, material, tools, etc. We have included indirect maintenance cost as energy cost, environment cost, quality cost of product, and penalties have we also included. Because we want to earn the most of our machines, our process. So we look into this that we don't have a profit loss. That's very important. And our model is built to show the highest summarized level of LKAB divided by plant. Now I have taken away all the numbers, but you can see the meaning of it. Then we can drill down to a single stop. We can see every stop that happened in the production and what has happened, when did it happen, what happened, and why. That's important. And we can also drill down to a single work order. What was the cause of the stop? See the problem, cause, and remedy codes at the cost of the work performance. And this is very important for the manager to see what machine do we have to work with when it's about environment, energy impact, environment impact. You can see it. Which machine is it? Do we must improve it? Must we make a modification, or must we invest in a new machine? That's what we are doing. That we want to happen. That we want to happen. And the I want to show off as well the staircase of change. You don't change an organization, a tool, when you implement a tool, or if you implement a process or a new work order way, it takes time. So you must know first that it exists. You need a knowledge and understanding about this. You must take an ownership. Okay, I will do this. Then we have the compliance and follow up, that we go and grow and develop the new in a new way. But that it has a time frame. You don't jump to do it. That's important. And at last, again, very key for success is to work with the processes and humans. Then you have a result.
Thank you very much, Maria, for your presentation. I think it was explained well how you used your goals, or your maintenance for your goals to become a more sustainable company, and it was a great look into the tool you use for it. I want to thank you once again for your presentation, and I want to close off by saying this was the last event in the CSRD Roadshow, and now we will take all the information we have gathered over the past few months to the stage at Euro Maintenance Rimini in September. So I hope to see you there, Maria.
Yes, I will be there. Yes.
Good.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation.
Thank you. Thank you yourself.